Fear, pain, burn, blink. Blink, disappear for a moment. Blink, lose what you consider yours. The dove coos and the lion roars. Clinch, close them out, away from pain. Clinch, run away without a move. You can't decide what you lose. Twitch, moving means death, but without it, no life. Twitch, spiraling downward in sickening dips. Your life cannot hold, like sinking ships. Blink, who are you? When will you come? Clinch, will you be blind and deaf and dumb? Twitch, you have attempted, flown too close to the sun. I have one single word for you, and that is run. Birth. Small at the time, one could not say I was born, just given the opportunity to grow. I was warm, or the beginnings of me were warm, and this is unbelievably hard to put into words. He was afraid, and I took that away. I wrapped pretty wisps of smoke around his frame, and kissed his lips to stir feelings of joy. He broke away from me for a time, and I lied in wait for his humble return to me. He wouldn't leave me forever. He couldn't leave me forever. I don't think he knew me then, knew my danger, but the moment we were together cemented his fate. Some can toss me away, others need me for the rest of their life. I don't have a name, or perhaps I have too many, and my family is so large, it's as if I do not have one at all. And my only friend, by befriending the likes of me, has sentenced himself to a path of nothingness. He signed his life away to me on a paper ticket. He gave me his life in an unknowing flood of emotions that he would never have the time to regret. Now, I am simple. I am quiet and slow-moving, light, pretty, and charming. As his feelings dull, I force his heart to beat faster. As his senses suffer and his pupils dilate, I allow his escape. I am his captor and his savior. I am his friend and his enemy. I am his freedom and his oppression. I am his key, and I am his prison. I am an oxymoron. I remember sneering when I understood that I am what he needs and I am what was destroying him. I remember exchanging one-sided words with him in states of freedom. He would never respond, as he couldn't hear me, yet he came to me. I kissed him before continuing. His mind was so hazy with me, and his world was obstructed by smoky wisps of my being, that a physical response was doubtful. Why? Another kiss. If you tell me, then I can help you. He didn't respond directly. He never did. I mean, how could he? He couldn't see me. Why would he be able to hear me? Yet he laughed ridiculously for the situation and kissed me again, this time with more passion and anger than calm relaxedness. Even if he couldn't hear me, did he understand? Mama doesn't want her son to fail. Guess he understood. Papa doesn't want his boy to dream. He laughed again until he cried. I begged him silently to finish what he'd started to say. What was in store for him was in store for me. His thoughts determined mine, and as time ticked by, I became part of him. Push me, force me. That'll work, guys. He stumbled slightly in standing and walked, if you could call it walking, into the kitchen. He gripped an old paring knife until his knuckles turned white and proclaimed jokingly, "Is this failing, Mother?" I ran forward and kissed him again. He dropped the knife and began laughing uncontrollably once more. I didn't know it then, but this was the largest turning point of our lives. He walked to bed, signaling he was done with me. I took my place between the bed and the window. He returned to school the next morning, so it was unlikely he would return to me. He never put me above school. I watched him sleep, a look of stupid bliss shine through his closed eyes. I touched his cheek lovingly one more time before settling myself beside him. It was daring, but it felt right. He had fallen to me because of another, and I know in my heart of hearts I cannot catch him. I can only make him fall faster.
I had been wrong about when he would need me next. The next day I find myself in a cramped bathroom stall, sitting across his lap, giving long, drawn-out kisses. His eyes become red-rimmed, and he smiles that dopey smile he always does when he hears me. He stood and laughed at his reflection. I was near tears. He's falling faster than I thought. I glided beside him as he slipped back into his classroom. Normally, I would leave him during his classes, but today I felt compelled to stay. I think I was allowed to be present? Like I said before, it's an odd concept to explain. I sat next to him because, at this point, I'm too young for anyone to see me. Unfortunately, that also means no one can see him struggle. Everyone took notes, and besides the teacher's voice, the only sound in the room was the rhythmic tap of pens and pencils hitting the desk. He just doodled aimlessly. His pen was out of time with the rest of the group, contacting his paper softly and remaining there for languid strokes. Was his mind like that forever? Out of time, slow, and lethargic? I swallowed. A few uneventful moments later, he began to laugh at his own piece of artwork. He turned to the girl beside him. Look, dude, it's a teddy bear! I think she saw a glimpse of me, but before returning to her own notes. Something you'd like to share? Though the teacher tried to be stern, it was obvious he was shocked. My friend took some of the hardest classes the school offered and, without my influence, was a well-behaved, conscientious student. Many times I was roughly shoved aside for a paper or project he had to perfect. He snorted. Nothing, sir. The teacher nodded and turned his back. That was when the full-fledged consequences of the day hit me. He's hindering his progress in a place he considered important. He'd come to me instead. I took his hand that had not gone back to drawing and shook my head. He picked a path. He picked my path. He couldn't turn back. Now that I was born, he would have to die.
Damn! He grabbed me and pulled me close, his body flesh against mine. I tried to force his emotions back, but I couldn't do it. I wasn't strong enough. Ha! I remember this! He laughed in a high register. Oh, what fun we had in health class. He took his head in his hands. I'd become tolerant. This wasn't supposed to happen. He stewed for a moment before pushing me away. He can't give me up. He can't. I ran to where they kept the alcohol and stood for a moment before drawing him over to me. He answered my call and looked to see the bottles of different types of drinks. But I do need to dull my pain. I smiled. Gray wisps of smoke danced around us, and I aided him in opening his first bottle. As he drank it down, I felt more drawn to him. His thoughts clouded over, and he connected sloppy kisses to my lips. The combination was breathtaking. I satisfied him. I brought us closer. He chose this path, and he will walk it with me. Finals were coming, and I don't think a book left the shelf. He was with me almost constantly, and when he was not under my influence, he wanted to be. I prodded him with memories of us, memories of suppression, and memories of freedom. Before, when he controlled me, I was quiet and submissive. Now, I'd become demanding. I'm making my first step in controlling him. Well, it's my first step. He had opened his door to me. I demand him to take from me. I was now a combination, a powerful combination, of a stimulant and a depressant. More. He kissed me, and I wondered if I wanted this. Did I want to push him down? Did I want to destroy him? More. I'm on my way. His words were slurred and strangled. He drank me in for a moment before turning and retching into the waste bin. He groaned and spit, then stood to go to his bathroom. He cleaned his mouth and went to bed. Had I forced too much? Am I losing control? I settled in beside him. He threw up again, just barely reaching the rapidly filling waste bin. It wasn't enough. I wanted more. Oh, so much more. Summer break. I controlled him until a day before final exams. He managed to force me away to scrape passing grades. I scoffed indignantly. The boy had straight A's even after I took away his studies, as if he needed to pass any of his exams. But after his attempt to distance himself and run away, I brought him back to something new. Laced with LSD? Yeah, man, hottest stuff on the market. He debated a moment before handing him the money. The dealer took it and quickly stamped it with a lucky horseshoe. I know what you're saying is bull crap. He sulked, walking into his house. He smiled when he saw no cars in the driveway. Oh, just leave me alone for hours on end. I won't get into any trouble. He walked slowly to where his lighter was hidden, and I forced him to move faster. I wanted him. He smiled and kissed me. He waited for a moment before looking around. Ugh, that ass better not have gypped me. He slammed his lips to mine again, and I grinned as he began to show a glazed look in his eyes. Whoa. He looked me in the eye. He saw me. He can see me. I moved my hands to create a wisp of smoke. If he responded, I knew it wasn't a fluke. The smoke was colorful. I have been a semblance of brazen white my whole life. I have never created color. His oohs and ahs took a position in the back burner as I attempted to hone my new ability. I used my hands to create a chain of simple, shimmering pictures. He took my hand. I was shocked and scared, but it was exhilarating. I realized that his touch was exactly what I needed. It was odd not to be the one to make the first move. He smiled and rocked back and forth on his feet. Dance with me? I obliged. As we danced, wisps of multicolored smoke and unshapely blobs rotated around with us. The pace picked up, and lines became swirling, scorching blobs of color. Then he fell into my arms. The bliss was too much for him to take, and he had passed out because of it. The wisp of smoke dissipated, and he fell to the ground, no longer seeing me, therefore no longer touching me. This proved it. He was mine. I wanted to be his hero. I am his hero. Why shouldn't I be one? Well, why shouldn't I be a heroine? The first time was fun. High as a kite. We were together. We were together. He was fully mine. When he shook, I screamed more. When he vomited, I screamed more. When he was high, I screamed more. I screamed more. More. Pinpricks started to show on his arms, and I convinced him nobody could see. Everyone could. I was obvious now. I am no longer a simple spirit, but I am flesh and blood. I am alive. Too much. I knew I forced him to take too much, and I didn't regret it. I was obvious. Everyone knew I had him for my time, and it was time to let him go. He twitched in spasms as fluid filled his lungs. His lips were chapped and dry, and his pupils were nothing but pinpoints. It reminded me of all the injection sites. My last kiss was loving and light. He slipped away with a euphoric smile on his face. He's gone. I killed him. I am a stimulant. I am a depressant. I am far, and I am home. I touch children, men, and women. It is rare I am alone. Once you pass me, I will stay there. I will watch you while you sleep. Woman, man, girl, or child, I will watch you while you weep. When you try to overcome me, I will win and you will lose. Relapse, suicide, overdoses. You don't get to choose. I will never leave you lonely. You will always be just mine. You were happy for a moment, but you paid a deadly price. You are addicted, you are gone, and you are lonely in the ground. And I am that addiction, but I am here, safe and sound. They found me curled around you. Your mother cried and your father screamed. God damn it! He gritted his teeth and punched the wall, breaking it and his hand. Yet you forgot your family, your home, your friends, your love. I have touched them also, now that you are dead and gone. Broken, shattered, hurt in ways you can never come back. As you fall, as you falter, lives fall out of whack. I hung over your funeral. Your mom cried a lot, and your father held his newly broken hand. Even I shed a tear. I don't have you anymore. You aren't mine anymore. Because I killed you. I killed you, Logan. Your addiction, your pain has killed you. But there is one thing you should know. Poppies bloom and colors brighten. And you will help the flowers grow.